Let me get real boring with you guys. Bam. All right, let's get this party started. Appreciate everybody for joining. This is our Deliver Club monthly webinar, and we're starting to invite all of our clients because there's information here that pertains to everybody. So we figured why not, but we will be going over some Deliver Club specific metrics and things like that. But we'll be getting into, some of the features that we've released, some of the updates that we've been doing, and then we'll open it up for questions to everybody. So we're going to kick it off. Joe is in Ireland drinking Guinness right now and listening to bagpipes, or is that Scotland? Not sure, but very cultured. So he's not running it this week. I am. So everybody, Anthony, good to see some new faces on here. So let's get this party started. So what we will be discussing, you see here on screen, some just KPIs for Deliver Club, some recently live features, some upcoming features, order with Google info, some POS information, national partner information, and dispatch and support. So that is the discussion topics that you'll be hearing about. This is Deliver Club specific. Total paid memberships this month were about 3,400, down 100 memberships. Could be because of the server issues that we had, who knows, but right around average. Plus usually this time of year is a little bit slower, but it'll probably creep back up next month. Software trials, 500, holding pretty steady. Total orders, 39,000. Number of DC orders that come through the system is right around 6%, so that's holding steady. Discount with the new members, new and old members, is right around $3.16. Without the new members, it's $3. And for first-time orders, so anybody that first time ordering, Deliver Club members, for opting in, they get their entire their first delivery for free. So that's at 12% and a $5.58 discount. So we will head to the next slide. We're going to go over some software features here. Devo, you want to go over some of these, or do you want me to hit them? I want to involve.
Probably you or Matt should hit them most likely. I definitely haven't looked at this slide this month.
Okay, great. Just wanted to call you out there.
Sorry.
I need you to be more prepared next time. Anyways, the RWG initial rollout. So we did just get an email from Google saying that they're slow rolling it, which we've known now for about a month and a half. But RWG is the redirect with Google. And now many of you may have noticed that when somebody is redirected from Google, the branding on your page is a little bit different. We did some split testing on branding, colors, and we noticed that the co-branding and the colors actually increase conversion rates. So I was watching videos nightly on this and tabulating the difference between non-branded. Actually, what happened is we launched it before we co-branded, and we noticed that the conversion rates were slipping. We were having a lot of people just landing on the page and then exiting without even starting to build the cart. So really it's the top of funnel, right, that you're trying to save. It's like, boom, somebody hits your website and they're like, what is this? And then they leave, or they don't feel as comfortable and they leave, which that's the most important part, is that top of funnel, before they even start building their cart. So once we change the branding to co-brand it, change the colors to look more like Google's colors, put that order with Google, and of course it still has your logo there up at the top. The conversion rates definitely got better from there. So this isn't, now we probably will roll it out to where you have the ability that if you want to turn that co-branding off, you can. And we hopefully will be able to release some statistics at the difference between those. So yeah, we can, if anybody has any questions, you can drop them in the chat, and I can answer them as we're going along. But The other thing is it actually holds your cookies will hold that branding, which means let's just say somebody originally goes to Google and orders for the first time. We mark them as an order with Google customer, and we actually hold that branding until their cache or their cookies clear. Um, so they always have something familiar that they go to when they continue to reorder, right? And these are probably all things that we'll be able to allow you to change with settings. But right now, we said we know conversion rates are better. We didn't have time to sit here and manipulate settings while we've been dealing with some other features. So we just, boom, pushed it out to everybody for right now. Escrow payouts for Stripe payouts. If you are using Stripe to do your payouts, we have the ability now that you can keep an escrow amount in your Stripe account to ensure that your payouts can be done properly. Matt or Devin, if you want to expand on this, I'm a little cloudy on it. I know we released it like a month and a half ago. Can any of you expand on that with the escrow payouts? And I think Jeremiah has been using it. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Escrow payouts, like right now, you have the ability to do automatic payouts and manual payouts inside of your Stripe area. This is pertaining to the money moving from your Stripe account to your bank account. And so then, that sometimes leads to issues if you're using pay on pickup or Stripe issuing. So, because you're spending out of your available funds. That being said, if you were on automatic and you're clearing all of your funds out of your account every night, you were starting the next day with zero. So if you had to pay on pickup order first thing, well, you couldn't do it. And so what this does is it allows you to keep money in that Stripe account. And so you can say, hey, on Monday, send all the money from my Stripe account to my bank account, except for $500. And that's the amount of money you're going to need to spend from on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we say how much you want to keep for the weekend. And then that's going to be what you spend out of basically, right, for your pay on pickup or your issuing.
Appreciate it, Matt. And if anybody has questions on that, feel free to reach out. I think there is a video on YouTube. Nicola, if there is not, please notate that because we should do a video and release that because I think that's very important. Just some internal organization and maintenance that we've been doing, as everybody knows, which I can go over the maintenance that we did and really what happened. Not to get too crazy technical, but it was really only on the New Jersey database where we have DeliverClub. And what happened was in the database, you have tables. Those tables have attributes. One attribute is an integer table or whatever, which means, oh, you can put integers into this table. And after so many years of menus, every menu item, sub option, nested modifiers, all these things have to have a unique number associated with them. And over time, that big integer table filled up the amount of numbers that you can actually put in that table. So it's like 280 million unique numbers, if you will. Well, we had to convert that table to what's called a big integer table, which can store 7 quadrillion numbers. So the reason why we had to lock everybody's menus is because what was happening is it hit that 280 million mark. And then when somebody added one extra thing, it was just slamming our database. And that's what was slowing us down. And we noticed that's what was going on because the system is saying, hey, let's go to 280 million and one, right? And the database is like, can't do it. And it's trying to do it. And it's essentially like killing itself from within. So we had to lock everybody's menus because we couldn't go over that 280 million mark. And then we had to convert that entire table to big integer so it can hold 7 quadrillion. And converting tables is a very finicky thing. It takes a long time, especially when you have big tables. So we tried to convert it. It ended up not converting completely. And that's what happened. And then we had to try to figure out how to get it back to the original integer table. And then we had to devise another plan to switch it to the big integer table. So that's the reason. That's what happened. We're completely sorry. That's on us. It's not on AWS. It's us just not measuring 3 times, cutting once. We thought we had a good plan. It ended up failing. We had to revert. We came up with a different plan. We got a bunch of different experts on the phone. They gave us different options, and we came up with a new plan, and it worked. So everybody's now converted. Everything should be good. We have 7 quadrillion. So we got some running room there. Any questions on that? Drop them in the chat. And okay, so does this mean only pertain to DeliverClub? No, it does not. We'll get into some things like we're getting into now that doesn't just pertain to DeliverClub. Auto menu builder. So everybody knows we have the auto menu builder. It pulls from Uber Eats and from Toast. And the way that these systems work is we actually go out there and we scrape and we pull data from them, right? And if they change how they're structured, like those things break. And when we have developers on certain projects that are more important, and we know that this is just an additional feature, we're like, we'll get to it when we can get to it. Sorry, you can't automatically create menus, but right now we have bigger things that we need to handle before we can get a developer to fix that. Long story short, they fixed it. There was a couple of issues, sent it over to them this morning. They fixed those issues. So if you've ever used the auto menu builder and haven't been able to get on there, use the auto menu builder, give us feedback. It should work. There shouldn't be issues, but once again, there could be issues. So if there are, we're sorry, we'll fix them when we can get the dev resources to fix them. We updated the 3PD to give you options between the cheapest and fastest. So third-party delivery services, so DoorDash and Uber Eats. So now you can set a setting that says, yeah, I just always want to use the cheapest, or I want to use the fastest. At some point, I think we're going to add one other setting, or we may have added another setting, which maybe analyze it. Devin, is it just cheapest and fastest right now? Or is there one other setting?
Well, cheapest, fastest, or you can set it to either Uber or DoorDash. So you can set it to always use one, or cheapest or fastest.
Okay. So those are some new settings that you have the ability to control. API improvements. Now you can inject orders with items, sub options, taxes, all of that. So if you're capturing orders from external systems and injecting them into our system, you can format them properly. We had to actually do this for Easy Cater integration, which Devin's been working on, and we're working on it with Qdoba, which is one of their franchises of one of our clients. And now we can take their orders from Easy Cater. Their Easy Cater orders can go into our system properly. So then when they receive them on the tablet or however we're transmitting them to them, they're formatted properly. So now they have their direct channel catering orders. They have their Easy Cater orders all injecting into our system and then going to their final destination, which is either a tablet, I think, in their stores or something. And it's all formatted properly for them now. So Kevin had a question. That question is, what do you mean by external system? An example, please. I feel a little stupid here. Don't feel stupid. Was the Easy Cater example good, or you want another example?
I'm not sure what Easy Cater is. Is that one of your restaurant delivery service clients?
Yeah, so Easy Cater is a huge portal, just like Uber Eats or DoorDash, but they focus solely on big catering orders, right? So they do a lot of catering. They have hundreds of thousands of restaurants, and a lot of reps, pharmaceutical reps or whatever offices go to Easy Cater and place big orders there, it's $200, $500 catering orders. So now we've been able to connect those orders into our system. So if you want to go to restaurants and say, hey, go to Easy Cater and turn all of your orders into self-delivery, and we can deliver them for you, we have the ability to do that now. But another external system could be somebody's using Shopify for their restaurant ordering website and they want you to do delivery, right? Then you can essentially have them send their Shopify orders into our system using an integration like Zapier or whatever.
What if
And then
somebody is like, what if it's not restaurant? What if it's like just a local shop?
yeah, whatever you want, doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Because
So
I know
would,
some that are using Shopify in our area. So
yeah, so I would go to Devin's like marketing party. I think we may have a video out there. I'm sure Devin will create another video after this upgrade.
There's some very detailed documentation that I'm about to drop into the chat.
Devin's about to drop some very detailed documentation. I know a lot of times videos help out, so maybe we'll get to that as well. But there are some people in the community that know how to use it. They're using it successfully. So I would encourage you to go on to Facebook, ask questions, see if anybody else is doing it, jump on with them, and start injecting orders from outside sources into your system so you can facilitate deliveries for restaurants or shops. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's see. I think somebody else had a question. Nope, is that live or still testing? Devo, is that live?
That is live.
live.
The only thing missing right now is tax, but like that'll be live by early next week.
I think they're talking about the escrow stuff.
Oh, the escrow
Gotcha.
stuff should be live, I believe. Matt, do you know for certain?
I believe it was in the coming soon still. Let me double check that.
Okay.
Damn. Okay. Well,
And
that
it is a way to
definitely needs to go
designate
out.
a certain amount to be held. Yes, that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, but I've been beta testing that, and I don't think it's live. I think it'd be the only one with both payment features running at the same time right now.
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
that
we need to get that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's Nicola just notate that.
Yeah,
We'll talk
give me
about
1
that
second.
tomorrow.
I'll check now.
It should be live by next week. I didn't realize that wasn't live. So thank you for asking that. Hate when that happens. Communications update. This is not live yet. Devin, Matt helped greatly on this, but essentially gives a lot more flexibility to your text message communication. It simplifies things a lot more, and it allows you to edit the communication messaging. And you can use tokens or, like dynamically inject different things.
Yeah, essentially, like we're on the location right now, you have like all those different tabs. Like there's going to be less of those. It's going to be more consolidated and like less variable across the board. And then, as Anthony mentioned, like you'll have the token, so you can kind of customize the majority of your messages yourself as well. Which you might have seen like in certain areas before you could customize, but certain you couldn't. And like you'll be able to customize it in more scenarios at this point. So definitely hoping to get it simplified and make it so that like they're not getting duplicate or very similar messages back to back, and
yes,
everybody's just getting what they need when they need it.
Appreciate it, Devo. So hopefully it'll cut down on the amount of messages. We're setting everybody up with default messages that we believe make the most sense, which is like, okay, it's a brand new order. Cool. Send them we received your order. Here's a tracking link. And most of the customers are going to be able to get information from that tracking link. Now, if the order is going to be 5 minutes later or earlier or something, I think that there's another text message that can be sent out. But anyways, you'll see those being released hopefully by next week, if not the week after. We will release a video and information about that. Nicola, please notate that down. I'm excited about this API deal. Great. All right. Any questions on any of that? Onward. AutoPay update progressing well. So we were going to release that this week. But because of all the stuff we went through, we did not release it. But AutoPay, we've been working on it for, I would say, 6 months now. It's an enormous update. It is an amazing update that was much needed. And what it does is it actually separates the reporting and the movement of money from the actual transaction. So it just makes it a lot more flexible and like not as dependent on one another, right? So if you ever tried using AutoPay before, the way that it was set up was just not good. This is going to give us the ability to do a lot more with the payment system. So you can just do like one-off payments to people, like, and it'll be calculated properly in your reporting. Jeremiah's been testing that. Thank you for doing that, Jeremiah. Giving a lot of great feedback. A couple of clients have been testing that. Next week, we're going to roll it out to, I think, 4 more clients. If all goes well between the DeliverClub members and our regular master clients, we'll probably release it the week after. Once again, both communications and payments are like things that we take very serious because, as you know, they're a huge like backbone of your business. So we're measuring like 30 times, cutting once. Toast automatic order placement. That's on the sideline right now. Apple ordering. Hopefully we'll start on that next week. And it's a 2 to 3 week project, but it's essentially the same as order with Google. When people are using Safari, and they use Safari to do a search for a restaurant, your links will show up there and you'll start capturing orders from iPhone users. So hopefully that will be out. We're going to be doing a hard push on this over the next 3 weeks. We want to have more order sources coming in for you guys, generate more order volume. It's good for us. It's good for you. So yeah, look forward to that. Let's see. Okay, Jeremiah has his hand raised, and then Dusty. Not sure who raised their hand first, but go ahead, Jeremiah.
I just the Toast automatic order placement. What exactly is that?
So we have the ability to like just inject orders into, Toast. So you would be able to pull a menu from Toast through the automated menu builder and then set it to like auto injection. And then you would just be able to, it's essentially like replacing an online order automatically. So we've been able to do it, but now we have to figure out how the payments flow for all that. Like if you have to have a Stripe account or a Stripe debit card hooked up to your account to pay for all the orders. So that's the last part of it. But does that clarify what your question is?
A little bit, because we do some pay online for some Toast places, and we have a lot of
That's what it would
issues
be
with
used
them,
for.
like trying to block. Like they'll say, like, "Oh, you ran this much today, no more," and it's having to switch cards, or like because our email has the word delivery in it, sometimes they block it because of our email. It's really weird, and like, we've got permissions from the restaurants to do it, but they use Toast, and Toast is trying to intervene, and it's very strange.
So now you've gotten 1/1000th of what we go through when we're doing these integrations and stuff like that. When things just break or whatever, it's because there's all these little nuances. Oh, they detect your IP address. They have certain throttles when you hit over a certain amount of charges in a certain amount of day. Like there's all these little things that you don't really know because they're black box, which means we don't know until it happens, right? And then you have to just figure out a way around it.
Yeah, are you guys working with Toast on that, or is that how is?
No, it's outside their system. So it's just like if you were placing an order, but we're doing it through essentially like an API that we have. But it is like if you were to just have somebody to, place the order online.
Okay,
but the thing that we can do, go ahead.
It's kind of been my understanding that what they're trying to do is intervene in all deliveries that come through Toast whatsoever, and try to get some cut somewhere. That's what it seems like. They want everything to be coming through their system so they can charge on both sides.
Yeah, possibly. A lot of times it's just internal fraud detection things that they have going on, right? Because they want to, chargebacks are huge in the industry. They make a lot of Toast makes their money off of credit card processing big time, and they're still getting their credit card rip off of it. So I think who knows, but a lot of times it's just fraud detection that a lot of these companies fight against. For obvious reasons. So, but appreciate that feedback. Dusty, what's up?
Yeah, just I have a different question, but then just to speak on that Toast thing, yes, we had this problem with we had a restaurant in Hickory, North Carolina that had Toast, and we're placing online there, no big deal. But then we got one in Oregon on Toast using the same login, and it was all kinds of it was all fucked up. Couldn't even do it right. I'm like, oh, they know what's up. So so that it's definitely a thing. But now, so then with this automatic order placement with Toast, would that then get rid of the need for me to run a direct integration that with a restaurant that I'm partnered with?
So there's the benefit with the direct integration is that so first of all, direct integration is better. It just is because you can get real-time updates and stuff like that. The other thing is on the finance side. Let me think about this. The restaurant is paying the credit card fees. So in general, somebody's getting hit with more. So the restaurant's gonna be paying the credit card fees instead of not having to pay those credit card fees, right? So there's just money being wasted there that could be conserved, but whatever.
Okay, right. So yeah, just the do it still going with the direct integration is still the best one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, to save money and just for menu syncing, real-time updates, all that stuff. You know,
yeah, it's
$35 a
really
month.
nice. I don't know if anybody here that is doing like a lot of integrations, but like with Chowly, you can get like a restaurant control center, so you can view all of the restaurants that you have an integration with them. And so then if a restaurant were to just, you know, you got an owner hit me up at dang 3 o'clock, say, hey man, I just made a big old menu adjustment. Can you resync? You can actually do that with that restaurant control center from Chowly, and just you can just handle it yourself, right?
Nice.
That takes like 10 seconds. Yep.
Yeah, in our system, you can actually hit the save button on that integration, but I don't know if you guys have access to that. But yeah, when you hit the save button on that menu, it automatically repulls the menu as
Really?
well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. All right. I'll test that out. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Thanks, man.
Of course. And then one thing that's not on here that I just actually tested out with Kitchen Hub today is if you guys are familiar with Kitchen Hub, we did an integration with them. So you will be able to use the restaurant if you want to do self-delivery for restaurants, which means let's just say you have a restaurant that is using DoorDash and Uber Eats or whatever to capture a bunch of orders. And you tell that restaurant partner, like, hey, turn your DoorDash and Uber to self-delivery so you don't have to pay them the 20%. Now, DoorDash and Uber still generate orders for them, but now the restaurant is in charge of executing those deliveries, right? So if they change that to self-delivery, those orders will go flow into the Kitchen Hub app, and then you can execute those deliveries for them because it's integrated with our system. So that we'll be releasing information on that, I would say within 2 weeks. But the integration is 98% complete. So that's one benefit for that integration. The other is, you can consolidate your restaurant's tablets. So if you go into a restaurant, and it's a good sales pitch too, you go into a restaurant, they have 4 tablets, be like, hey, listen, let me be a partner with you. I'll turn your 4 tablets into 1 tablet so you can receive your DoorDash, your Uber orders, your Grubhub orders, and our orders on 1 tablet and manage them all from 1 tablet. You're going to be able to do that for them. So that's the other integration or product we'll be releasing with Kitchen Hub. And somebody said, Hacks, I have someone who might do that for me. So yeah, I think the pricing is going to be around like $35 or something per location to use the Kitchen Hub integration with us. And that, I think Kitchen Hub is just going to charge you direct. We're not charging anything for it. So yeah, go out there, build more relationships by consolidating tablets for these restaurants. And then also doing the self-delivery model and facilitate their deliveries for them. Now, one of the things that Kitchen Hub was asking is like, hey, what happens when these restaurants get a bunch of deliveries that your clients can't actually execute on? Like, how are we going to handle that? So we'll be able to pause those integrations and things, but once again, you have the third-party delivery drivers that you can also use as backup to facilitate those deliveries for the restaurants as well if you are overwhelmed. So we have some more questions, and I will open the queue. Where the hell is the queue? Let's see. Why am I missing this queue? Can anybody open the queue? I swear I saw somebody raise their hand.
Dusty and Jeremiah both have their hands up, and I think they're both.
Yeah, I have my
hands.
hands up. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what's up, Dusty?
Yeah, cool. I'm glad to hear that Kitchen Hub is a thing still, because I emailed that lady a couple months ago and I didn't think it was a thing anymore. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So all right. So say we get these orders coming in here, is it going to factor in like our current quote times that we're running like on Warrior Express? Or no?
Devin, can you go into that?
Like would
I would
it
just say right now the answer is
sending
no.
the order, would it kind of adjust, like this is just say I didn't have enough drivers, right?
Right.
To experience the volume. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it going to adjust some quote times for folks or not so much?
No.
No.
You would
so,
need to rely on third parties in that case, would be my suggestion.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So I just need to make sure my driver pool's kick ass. Okay, great.
yeah. But I mean, that's it. We need to notate that, Devin, because that's kind of like a huge aspect to that business model, because who knows, like the third party pool could be at 45 minutes as well, right? And it's like, I just quoted them 20 minutes or whatever. So that is a huge part of that business model that needs to be solved to, I think, really scale it out.
And I don't have a third party. I don't have a third party driver pool in those areas that I trust. So I would not go with it. Now,
Right.
my next question, or my next statement. Guys, I've got a restaurant owner in Breckenridge that has 3 restaurants. And he's still using DoorDash. He's all about this. If y'all really need like a good tester with an owner that's, not gonna fuck with us too hard and try to make this a thing, I've got one. Just let you know. So.
Oh yeah, you can test it out. I mean, it's going to be open to you.
Yeah, he's definitely down because he likes to use it. He refers everybody to us, all that stuff. So yeah, he would love those orders to come to our drivers. So just
all right. Well, you'll know about it when we release it and jump on it.
Great, good deal.
Jeremiah, what's up?
And are we going to see the original source of these orders as well?
Devo, does the source pipe through? If not, that's an easy thing to do. But
because I'm just thinking like
slightly more challenging thing to do if we need to also know that they're Kitchen Hub orders. We'll have to discuss that further for sure. We might need to add some stuff for that.
But they'll come in as Apex, right?
They will come in as Apex, yeah. But if we also need to know that like they're Kitchen Hub Uber, Kitchen Hub DoorDash, Kitchen Hub Grubhub, which I feel like is what Jeremiah is asking for. Like you would know these are different orders for sure. But if you need more details, we'll have to figure out the best way to get them in for you.
Because I'm just worried if we get flooded, we would want to say like, oh, well, that order came in through DoorDash, so let's have DoorDash execute it. That way, if there's any issues with the execution on the driver's side, I can go to the business owner and say, hey, we consolidated all these for you. Everything that went wrong with that was on DoorDash's side. They generated the order, they dropped the ball to the customer. They're only going to see the DoorDash.
So
issues.
I mean, so when you're doing self-delivery, that's what Devin's solving for. When you're consolidating their tablet for them, and they're getting these Uber orders or whatever, those come in, the sources show up in Kitchen Hub properly on Kitchen Hub side. That's what you're asking.
Well, I'm just saying that if it's like, if an order originates on DoorDash, comes in through the Kitchen Hub and goes to the restaurant, and we can't dispatch one of our drivers because we implement this and we get way too many orders or something, I would prefer to send that back to the same company for execution at the end. That way, if there's any issues with it, I can deal with the restaurant owner and say, they originated that order, we put it into you, we saved you money on it, we sent a DoorDash driver, DoorDash dropped the ball on it, rather than have us look. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I just think that we're going to need to figure out a solution on the timing thing, or else this model is going to be extremely difficult to execute on. So we'll have to talk about that.
I mean, don't those when those orders are generated, don't they have an estimated time generated with them that can be piped in?
We have to be able to send our Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Dave.
mean, we're looking at two different models here. I don't know how into the details we want to get here, right? But like, so like, I'm thinking more like, yes, especially like if people are requesting drivers from you, and you're like, yeah, right now I can do it in this time for this price. Like, that's the courier approach, right? Which is like what we're working through with the Olo dispatch stuff, and what like most people who are just like looking to tap into a courier source are looking for. That's like more of a real time courier request situation. This is essentially like you're going to your restaurant, you're saying like, hey, turn off the delivery through these other providers, right? So it's just like you definitely have to execute on those, and you're just looking at like an interesting thing. So it's definitely not impossible, but we're just looking at like somehow essentially like I don't even know if like Kitchen Hub can update this, right? So that's like the first step in this is like, can they communicate that to Uber and DoorDash on the fly? If they can, then they would almost have to figure out a way to like ping our courier model, which then needs to be updated based on your order to driver ratio, get that to Kitchen Hub. Kitchen Hub now has to get that to the third party, you know? Whereas like
Right,
right now, what
exactly.
Kitchen Hub can do today is like they can inject orders into your system, right? And they can pull orders out of your system. And that's where we're at right now. So it's kind of like a combination of the two. I imagine it's definitely feasible, but of course, like it also has to be feasible on their side, and I'm not sure what their capabilities look like there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not talking about the courier model. What I'm saying is you know, like, yeah, I guess it's true, like what Harrison said there, that yeah, they're not going to have a time because at that point it's just on the restaurant. But you know, those order sources would be across the board would be helpful, you know, just knowing where they come from. So
Yeah, agreed.
okay.
And then
Thank you.
With a simple pickup request, you're going to be able to get that regardless. I mean, we can just throw it in the notes if that's what we have to do. I wouldn't be worried about that being a thing. The timing is going to be a lot more challenging than getting you the source.
Yeah.
and the driver tips, Devo, how that is handled. So if somebody can notate that down, you may have if orders generated on DoorDash and it's self delivery and the customer adds a $5 tip, how that's getting like how all that works, right? So
Oh yeah, it tips after delivery or at delivery. Yeah.
yeah, or it's on placement, like money flow things. But somebody just notate that down because the timing and then tips, and you may already have that solved, Devin. But as we of course speak through it, there's little things that creep up that are important. Okay. Any other hands raised right now? All right, on to the next thing. Order with Google is Juliet present? Drum roll.
Doesn't look like it.
I will go through it. Food photos are extremely important. We're actually building a tool right now that will allow you to type in or put in like your restaurant ID, location ID. It'll go search the internet for food photos for that specific restaurant. It'll match it up to the specific item as well, and it'll inject those into your system, or we're going to build some interface where you can select yes, 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 and accept, and then it'll inject them into your system so you can get more photos, images attached to your items. They're extremely important. If I could suggest anything, start getting photos for your menu items. It's extremely, extremely important. What was the other thing about that? Oh, well, Dusty.
Yeah, so we've been going through this process the last like month and a half about getting all those you know food photos and all that stuff. But you know, I have a lot of restaurants that don't have any photos either. So I'm curious, like if we just go with a generic or a photo that we believe is the best looking for that item, is there any kind of like a penalty that Google would notice on that?
I don't think so. I mean,
Somewhere.
yeah, we've definitely used like what is it called? Mid-Journey to generate photos for a bunch of menu items. So we're also looking into some AI developed photos as well. But I don't think there's no penalty. I don't think Google's gotten that sophisticated on recognizing that stuff through the integration yet. but they are
Yeah,
Google.
okay, so then just throwing a generic photo of something like, you know, a chicken fried rice or whatever, just find the best one. Still looks okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I mean, most of those restaurants, you know, you just go on there, and that's what we're doing. We're searching images for that restaurant, and whether it's on Yelp or Google or whatever, you can just grab one of the photos.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, we're attempting to throw it like, you know, like on an Asian restaurant, like a chicken fried, or I'm sorry, chicken
Or fried rice,
egg roll, or a, you know, a damn chicken wing. So, but like, yeah, we want to put on every little thing, right, to make sure everything's
100%.
So, yeah. Okay, good. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Mad 430.
Right.
Okay. You said something, and I missed the very beginning of what you were saying about these food photos. Is there something in our system now that will help us to pull those in rather than how I've been doing it, which is downloading it, reformatting it, then re-uploading it?
We're working on something that will do it for you automatically.
Okay.
So,
all right. Thanks.
Let's see. Jeremiah.
I know Data Dreamers used to have a feature where customers could take images of their food and you could give them like rewards for it.
Yeah,
you know, that may be an option too, something like that.
Yeah, I love it. Or just, you know, on the tablet as well. Like just put like a little thing where the little photo icon next to a menu, and they could just boom, hit it, take a photo, save, and then they're back to the But yeah, both of those the user generated for points. I freaking love that idea. I always love that feature on their software. This is recorded, and it's not by chance. We actually made a conscious decision to do that. Food descriptions, extremely important. Cancellation rate. Yeah, Google hates cancellations, and customers do as well. As you'll see on here, the redirect does put, you know, your business name on there, which is great. Makes it a lot less painful for us when restaurants want to opt out and all that jazz. So you will see that. But once again, conversion rates are not nearly as good, hence why we've co-branded it to make it as good as possible. It definitely helped out. Dusty, what's up?
Yeah, so with the redirect, I got a couple of restaurants that want to charge a like a per box fee, or even a kitchen tip fee that I put in as a service fee underneath the restaurant profile. All right, but and those I try to discourage these restaurants from doing it, but you know, I got like like 2 or 3 that just are adamant about it, right? So no big deal. But with this now, the redirect,
well, you'll be able to handle it. Yeah,
that handles it all the way, right? Yeah, because I legit have a restaurant that's like, look, I don't want to be on GFO because the box fee doesn't apply. I'm like, okay, get it, I get it. So that is totally fixed with this redirect. Then at that,
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, good deal. Cool.
All right. Any other questions on this slide? All righty, onward. Let's see, consumer experience. Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and play these. Let's see. Can you guys see the consumer experience? Can you see this? Somebody give me a verbal, because I'm not looking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so this, let me go back here. So as you see, let me see if I can go full screen, or I'll zoom in here. Co-branding, it's got your brand here. Order with Google. We changed the color to be the blue and the Google logo. Yes, this is annoying having this. We will fix the featured images, are the most popular if they don't have images. We're working on that. But so as you'll see, and this goes along with glue and everything, is the new consumer experience. They can continue with their phone number to make it much easier for them to check out. They get a little text message. I guess this person already has an account or something, so they're just logging in. Nope, they don't have an account. I don't know who grabbed these videos, but it seems like they logged in. But anyways, this is Glue. They're going to type in their address, order, select payment method, apply a little tip there. Here they go with continue with their phone number. So I guess they didn't put in they don't have an account. So boom, they put in their phone number, or they can use their email. It sends them confirmation code. They put that in, and now they continue with their checkout experience. So we're optimizing a lot of this stuff. A lot more to come to ensure that we make it as easy for the consumer to check out. But yeah, and it also, just on Glue, it eliminates customers being like having to have a username and a username and password, because they can just use their phone, right? Their phone number or email, and we'll just send them a one-time authentication code, which I always love. And we may make that even easier. Like, we can send them a link, and then when they click the link, it just authenticates them or whatever. But for right now, it's a code. Any questions on any of that? Do you have the ability to remove the rating right after they place the order? I mean, I think that's controlled on your settings. So yeah, you should be able to. Jeremiah.
Are there any plans to link in like Google reviews into any of this?
Yeah, there already is. We just have to roll it out to everybody. But yes, we have that capability. We've beta tested it, and it's one of those features that we have to test it for both DC clients and regular clients and roll it out. But Nicola, can you notate that down? Because I think it is ready to roll out, or we did roll it out, and we may need to just release some documentation. The automated Google review system. I know Harrison was asking about it. Yeah, the booster.
I think I already did the docs for that, but yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, no more hands. Once again, get your opt-outs or your agreements signed with your restaurants. Turn on for takeout. Go get restaurant partners. And just another thing, going into these restaurants and creating partnerships with them and getting their own online ordering set up. I know I say this all the time, but like we launched some of these active menus clients, and we just get their direct ordering going, and it's like, they get 100 orders a week or whatever, right, through their direct channel. And so I can't urge more to go to these restaurants and say, hey, let me put these buttons on your website, and any of these orders that come through your website, instead of me charging you 15% or 10% or whatever, like, I'll charge you 5%, right? Like, because you're going to charge a delivery fee on top of that. And now you're just getting more order volume from them, right? So whatever you have to do to incentivize them or make the finances work, like, there's tons of order volume direct channel. It's crazy. And you can also spin them up a website through our builder, which is another huge added value. So like, if you're not doing that, I can't urge it. It's the number one thing to just boost your order volume. And of course, there's a revenue aspect and a cost aspect to it, but it's enormous. Order with Google, total orders generated in July, 26,000. Food sales, 1 million. Forgot to put the dollar sign at the end of that. Average order, $44. Takeout versus delivery. Delivery is 44%. Takeout is 56%. So make sure you're turning on for 56 or for your takeout. POS integration, both Chally and Checkmate. It's in our knowledge base of how to get that completed. If you're using Checkmate, I think like Dusty does this. He manages everything on the Checkmate side because it's a self-onboarding. for Checkmate. So like you can get access and self onboard your own restaurants. So the restaurant owner doesn't have to do a lot. Like you can do it for them. Takes more resources, but you're going to get a lot more restaurants set up quicker. Nicola, did you have something you wanted to say? Okay. So the other thing is a lot of times these restaurant owners, the middleware companies, which is Chowly, Checkmate, Olo, really just Chowly and Checkmate, when they're reaching out to these restaurant owners to get things set up. And a lot of times the restaurant owners aren't checking their emails, or the phone number that you guys put for the restaurant owner is the restaurant's email and not like the manager's, or the phone number you're using is the restaurant's phone number, not the manager or owner that actually needs to handle that. So when you're submitting this information, please put this specific person that is going to be managing this integration to get it done as quick. Use that information. Any questions on that? National partnerships. Popeyes, got to go ahead with them. Bojangles, we're expanding with them. Hardee's, same thing. Yeah. So Popeyes is the one that we just signed. And then Bojangles, they had some internal changes that they did with personnel, so they kind of fell off. They came back on board. They're ready to go. And Bojangles is part of, I think, RBI, or one of those big brands that has like Taco Bell and all that. So if we do well with them, which we will, it's either Bojangles or Popeyes. Has like four
Popeyes
other
is
big
part
brands.
Popeyes is part of the RBI, which includes Burger King, Firehouse Subs, and Tim Hortons.
Zach, there you are. Take it away, please.
Yeah. So didn't want to interrupt your flow, Anthony. You're doing good. But yeah, so Popeyes, we're just getting the MSA finalized. Big opportunity with them. They have 2,800 restaurants across the nation, so a lot of opportunity, covers most people. Bojangles, we were in a pilot for a long while. As Anthony said, they had some personnel changes, so they just gave us the green light to get their corporate-owned stores live. That's another 260 stores. And then we are slowly onboarding some additional Carl's Jr. and Hardee's franchises, along with all the other Five Guys that's pushing to get every single restaurant onboarded onto our network. They really like our service that all of us provide them. So that is slowly going. So as always, if you guys want to check your coverage, see if you have additional opportunities, send me a Slack message, email, put in the ticket. We'll check those for you and get those onboarded right away. Back to you, sir.
Ticket. Thank you, Zach. Any questions on any of the national partners? All right, so we'll go to the next slide here. Okay, we do have Mad 430. Is this Roger? Who's Mad 430?
Matt. Yeah, my name is Matt. I was just wondering about the Bojangles. You say it was so it's just the corporate-owned stores. Do the franchise ones have an opportunity to go in if they want to?
Yeah, for sure. They're just doing the rollout with their corporate-owned, and then they usually expand to their franchises.
Yeah, and the best way to get going through that, so when you go into your local Bojangles, go in, introduce yourself to the manager, and try to get the information for the whether it be the franchise owner or the decision maker, and then get that information to us, and then we can reach out and say, hey, we have this franchise that would like to opt in to the MSA, and then that way we can try to get that franchise onboarded quicker for you.
Okay. I'll definitely try that. I hate that all the Popeyes in my area just went bankrupt, because we had 2 or 3 of them around here that would have been good. All right, thanks.
They need to be selling more chicken. All right, Emery, on to you. Dispatch and support. Hello. Hair's looking fresh.
I try. Let's jump right into it. So we've got some stats from last month. We could get a transition on the slide here.
Oh, yes. I just stopped. I stopped. Thank you.
It's all good.
There we go.
It's all keeping me on my toes. Appreciate you. Yeah. So July, usually the slowest month of the year. Expect a little dip in the volume there. On-time percent raised just slightly. Average delivery time also raised about 30 seconds. Nothing outside of the standard deviation that we've come to expect month to month. really not too much else notable. Usually a lot of traveling summer activity in July, so less orders that we usually see, but normally ticks back up in August as back to school and everything starts to kick off, continues to the end of the year. Which brings us to the top operators based on average delivery time. Moving right to number 3 here, we've got Warrior Express, just under 44 minutes, dropped from the number 2 to the number 3 spot, still in the top 3. Added a little over 3 minutes in their average delivery time from the last month. A slight dip from their 90% automated restaurant volume month over month as well. Still great driver management to remain in that top 3. Just for those who might not know from previous webinars, the automated restaurant volume is the volume that is placed automatically at the restaurant, whether that's tablet, POS integrated, things of that nature, can certainly cut down times on delivery as well. So
this is absolutely the most fun part for me. All the time. I want to be in that top 3 all the time. It's fucking awesome.
You're doing great, Dusty.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, number 2, we've got 541 to go. Back in the number 2 spot. They cut almost 2 minutes, it looks like, to get back into that spot from the last month. They rose 2% on their automated restaurant volume. And again, great driver management is pretty much the marquee characteristic of all these clients. They are really great with having enough drivers to handle their rushes. They're not getting hit with a lot of those outliers, and that's what helps keep their times down. But anyway, same spot. Number 1, Hopper Maui, still seated on the throne, just under 39 minutes, a slight uptick in their delivery volume, but again, 95% plus every month on the automated restaurant volume. Amazing driver management. Jock, I don't know if you're still on the call here, but kudos, remaining under 40 minutes is what we've come to expect from such a great service.
Appreciate it, kind sir. That is Emery. Emery's the man. He runs our dispatch and support team. So if you're looking for dispatch and support center, he's your guy. All righty, open discussion time. What can we help with? But we got to keep it to a minimum. But no, I appreciate everybody coming. It is open discussion time. If you have any questions, feel free. Ask them to the team. We'll do our best to answer anything. And appreciate everybody jumping on. It was very well attended. 34 people at one point. I think about 10 of us work for the company, so 24 people or so. So appreciate everybody joining. Hopefully you got the text message and email that Nicola's sending out, and we're trying to do better with communication. So any questions? We got Mad.
Just where can I find more information on the tablet consolidation that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, we'll be releasing that with Kitchen Hub probably, I don't know, a couple weeks. We have a meeting with their marketing department tomorrow, and they're going to get like all the documentation of how the integrations are done and what does everything. So I'd say 2 to 3 weeks. Troy.
On the GFO switches,
Yep.
Transition, is there anything, so if there's 2 DeliverLogic systems in the area, is there anything to separate those with the ones who are getting the paperwork and the ones that just turned everything on?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have the signed agreements, then you would be activated. If somebody's not signing agreements, then you could report them or whatever if you want to. But that question actually brings something up that we should check into. Not sure if we're going to be able to list multiple providers now because it is a redirect, and if they can actually do that, that may be a possibility now, which would be a good thing. So, we need to ask that. So, Nicola, if you can notate that down to ask Juliet to inquire about that. Hopefully I answered your question. But yeah, I mean, if somebody doesn't have, contract signed and the restaurant needs to know about it, they need to be taken down or whatever. But you got to get those real partnerships. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Dusty.
Yeah, we go
ahead.
through and get all the partnerships signed for each one, but the other service that's in the area turned everything that's on. So now we're fighting that all these people see it and then they don't want to partner with us because they already see it on there.
Right. Yeah, that's like an internal business thing that we don't really like to get involved with. Now we do require that contracts being signed, and they won't be activated unless if they are, I believe. So yeah, we could take a look at that. We
Okay.
need real partnership here and up there. You're welcome. Dusty.
Yes. Hey, about the software outage that we had back in November with the insurance companies. So I did sign all the documents and all that stuff to get that claim. I didn't put in ACH information. I put in like an address for the check to get sent to.
Yeah.
Now I haven't seen the check come in, and I'm not quite sure if I need to let you know that one or.
No, reach out to Joe. He's been dealing with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good deal. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
A couple
right.
of people have asked about recordings. Just wonder, does anybody know? I assume for them, it's like us. If they go to Google Calendar, once the recording is available, it'll be there.
Yeah.
On the event.
If they're on the event, it will show up there after it's rendered. So this is probably going to take like 6 hours or something. But what we'll do is after this renders, we'll upload it to YouTube, send out a link and an email so people can watch this, and we'll post it on Facebook. So make sure you're part of that Facebook community. Make sure you're saying all those positive things and keeping the good energy in there. Fighting the good fight, baby. Fighting the good fight. All right, everybody. Appreciate your time. Until next month. Sorry about the delay this month. We had to handle some things, as you guys know. We apologize for it. It's our fault 100%. And all we can try to do is do better. So sorry about that. Hurts us, hurts you. Hate it. So have a good day.
Yeah, thanks
what's
for
up?
that. And dude, hey man, our business was only impacted about a day. The next day, everything was pretty much like lined back up and great. So y'all do some great work. So
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's updated. Everything's good now. So everybody's menus should be fine. You can edit them. System should be running smooth. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate your time. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Stay safe out there. See you on Facebook and Slack.
Peace. Peace, guys.
Yep, you'll get it. We'll send a copy of this meeting out to everybody. All righty, guys. Bye-bye.